let's go to a constitutional lawyer. Na ye ne twetwe nkobo emfa asem we hu. Lawyer Kwame Adofo ewa homa so. Lawyer Machana pay.
Enyo.
Enya be mampom.
Me hoye pa na boswe.
Na me yesrai. In fact, ye won nkobo mienu di baako has to do with Supreme Court conversation on Parliament. I'll come to that. But before then, let's speak about I was reading CI 127 where it states exactly what must be done. It's just not clear. So we don't know. OSHA CI 1274 now. Where at the close of nomination, but before the elections, one of the candidates dies, a further period of 10 days shall be allowed for nominations. We don't know what this says. And then there's another one, that is the 5, where the death of the candidate occurs at any time within 25 days before the election. The election in that constituency shall be postponed for 21 days. This one is about parliamentary. But the first one, there's confusion. At the moment, as a constitutional lawyer, Ekweadonko is gone. What do you think the directive or the direction should be?
Look, in fact, let me concede that an opay minya kwanhwe at CI 127 minya kwanhwe. But from what you are reading to me, it means I see more 10 days. Na more renominate will be from to contest on their ticket. From what you are reading to me, it means that the party will be given another opportunity to renominate candidate within 10 days so that they can go and run.
If the electoral commission does otherwise,
no, they can't. No, they can't do otherwise. When the CI spells out what has to be done, they can't do otherwise. Unless the party now decided to almost fill the before. We any quantum any independent too. We a political party. And a CI no say the candidate we are given a further 10 days to renominate. And other there is a law. And he cannot do, electoral commission cannot do otherwise.
Our constitution, Article 53, Section 3 also speaks about some of these things. But once you said it's clear, and that's what it's supposed to be, let's move on to the parliamentary conversation that is happening at the moment
at
the Supreme Court. Onua, Speaker, Emma and lawyer for title sorry, Etro and Krata, Edeko PMU, Ekoma Supreme Court say how they served the Speaker was wrong, and that according to Omo Emrano, they are supposed to be served only on Mondays. Minim se won sa enkrata na lawyers for the Speaker at Onua.
Yes, inyaba ba hu enkrata na ya fale ama Speaker na a very interesting positions of the law and raise na anything in Article 117 no eso Article 117 say obi a member of parliament na say or come as a begin and also the massive begin and serve no any questions from the court and over time no and no more I develop understanding between parliament and the court. Say the Sadia and your best ever won't sit your Mondays and your best ever on Mondays. I agree. Now, we the man we interested in say almost attempt service on the Speaker through the legal office on Tuesday.
Yes.
I just successful and almost several on Wednesday. It's almost several Wednesday. Court no time almost ruling no for stay no and also almost suspended Speaker Bagbin's orders no. Court no can ruling say no you are aware say Speaker is aware of this process, but he has objection only because he was not served on a Monday, and he court the position says since the Speaker is aware, this case raises an exceptional circumstance until they will grant the order suspended. And if it's
meaning they would go against what they themselves decided to do.
It means to say they have now stay no means suspended. It means that they have the law at that time. The Supreme Court said since we are aware, even though he has concerns, on the day he was said, the court said they are aware. Say, Speaker, they are aware that this case is coming up. Now, important in a sense, service is the key. So now I know WOHO. Now I know Chimanso. Now I say, "What? The beer may be a reality. You can't watch." And I'm going to say, there's no evidence myself, but to an amount be backward. It means that we are aware the proceedings is on, and we didn't know about it. It means that fairly process there. It means that you have been served. Yes, I carry it in the who say as a no court. And now what did the American say?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand.
That is the position. Now, the Speaker.
So in this case, Speaker should have decided, say, we had an agreement. I'm supposed to be served on Monday. If you serve me any other day, I would look at it and make it look like nothing has happened. Intimate, I would rather not write to you at all. I'll ignore it.
One option, but say legal. Oh yeah, you don't make it easy for your opponent. And the Speaker rely on no. That's what a lawyer should do. Should make it hard for your opponent. And the Speaker position, and no, I'm kind. A filing motion, say court vacate the orders. Say the court make you order to suspend the Speaker. Orders. And Onua through the lawyers, a filing motion says court vacate our orders. Now, Ukaya, so a very interesting, a very powerful argument, and always. And they say, one, say, or no Speaker no position, they say, service no was wrong. Because next case 7 on Monday.
Yes.
By a 7 on Wednesday, which is against the agreed we are members of Parliament. Because it is agreed between the court and Parliament only on Mondays. And therefore, that service, it's proper there. It means that it's null and void. The argument, the first one. This is very interesting. Because if the court agrees, say, the service was not proper, and now, so be in a court, so be granted. Very interesting. Now, the next one, so arguments are, you raise and associate interest in the Speaker. What's it? You granted state where in the court chain, the court will change from lower court to higher court to court of appeal to Supreme Court. And the lower court here will be now when in the yard, I'll call high court, not stay.
Yeah.
High court here will be now in the yard, I'll call court of appeal, not stay. Court of appeal here will be now in the yard, and I'll call Supreme Court, not stay. Where do you? Every court never, every parliament never. It's in a so bad Supreme Court war, so basically decision of Parliament.
But this also had to do with the interpretation of the Constitution.
Exactly. But
and we all know, say, interpretation of Constitution, no Supreme Court,
correct. But me can Speaker argument why and natural. Speaker argument why and no. Interesting. Say going forward, no.
So what the speaker is trying to say, as a free court now, if one step to the other, it's coming from somewhere else. But really, when it comes to cases of constitutional interpretation, does it have to come from the court?
Well, I don't know what you say. Speaker argument. Now come back to that.
Right.
Speaker argument back also say. And you be able to makunya no koda. Omo ma court. Emeka say yedina omo any fairness and as you are more coin. Now, one who up in your market, case you are not connected. We look at anything. And also, Ujinaso at the back court. And also, interesting. But you see, in constitutional cases, you don't have to have a locus. There will be raising a constitutional basis where there's interpretation. You don't need any locus. Anybody at all can go to court. But Speaker raises very interesting argument. If it's a court to see now, Speaker can say, court to Jinayano see one speaker a quite and wasem, one kunya. They are one-sided. One speaker no wasem. And right to hearing no deny natural justice. Yeah, I'm on a quite and wasem. And here no
Asam na mu enya and starting and where does this one come in?
I don't know what you say. If we stay with one, let's think it's in and what's the matter.
That's where I'm also finding difficult. As in, if ABOB Kokotwa before Assembly Bedi no bet me akosiki say yes suspended and I say yes for injunction. Even if it's elections, somebody can place an injunction on it before the case itself is placed.
I don't know speakers also argument no sir I can say. Even so but no day tabo up to Sukrana. Because the expert expert is the other side maybe no. I think a year for only 10 days. Where the Yafa time and so. And also money problem. According to speakers, now that's also you see injunction is different for stay. Injunction there for 10 days on expert basis. But stay there. There's no law saying that put a time on it. I don't know what did they make an answer.
Yeah, I'm understanding that. Yes.
Injunction there. The first party and entire 10 days. First party just one side dependent back the other side now my coach.
Now they do add
now with the injunction one first year now.
Maybe so at this stage that we find ourselves, because at the moment the case itself will be heard on the 30th of October.
No, case in the 30th. Most in the 30th. Most Speaker Bagbin Diabano. A China any BTS motion.
So, in this case, what is the process? Motion as in whether to still now your friend is a Supreme Court ruling in Bejina. And also, Mbeti or no diabano. What's the process? I want to understand.
Process, let me say. It is Speaker Bagbin didn't the abbey. What name in Yardin? Over Fally be a friend of David in opposition. No about you say, may no more Yardin for A, B, C, D, a Dimamon grantee. Speaker Bagbin,
and in this case, it's a fenyo mark and then the lawyers, a bet Rakwa, and I say any other person can do that.
It's in their parties. More involved to say it's only the attorney general because the state institution is concerned.
Yes.
Yeah, the opinion marking lawyers as Zoom and yes, we are responding. So money speak about the argument and also the argument. So money in the argument there as some of Fally affidavit in opposition. Now you have more opportunity to be heard on that day. And so far the almost getting your mind. Because was filed yesterday. And he likely said that almost also the almost affidavit in opposition. Yes, and
I was thinking, sir, it was against the ruling of the Supreme Court. It has to do with the Supreme Court directly. That's not what it is.
Correct. It's against the ruling of the Supreme Court. But
and Onua affected. No, for example, Parkwesi Abedu Esquire or Kahubi. As we said, a fenyo marking won't be. Parkwesi, I think, should be a fenyo marking a law firm because there's another PO box or whatever under the Parkwesi from a fenyo marking. That is number one. And then the Parkwesi Esquire is number two. And then the number 3 is Speaker. Number 4 is Attorney General. And then title story is number 5. On the Oka say or Mekakoti hearing no or 30.
But lawyers, lawyers in the they are only being informed, for information only.
All right.
They are not parties to the case. It's almost normally, no, and naturally, no. Say Speaker Mark, leader, marking. So BB can the lawyers never travel. Almost the lawyers are notified that the case is coming on tomorrow. But almost file processor and almost they will file it in the name of the parties themselves. I don't know if they make out here.
Yes.
Aha. A Joma file processor, a better affidavit marking being a babasu. But the lawyers will file it.
And can say, does the Supreme Court ruling still hold until otherwise, which is tomorrow?
The Supreme Court ruling is the law now. Meaning, say, Speaker Bagbin's, wardening for seat has now been suspended. Kopim says Supreme Court be tia samchina. No money na ya adwene na oma avaketi omo orders no. Evaketi pe na Speaker Bagbin orders no asa kicking in. Say eno na be start ejuma. But say na onyanya it means that Supreme Court suspension no and ejuma say.
Right. Yeah, now I see an person when you are a church and same no ye. You ever heard the BC Ochna as the legal brains go to the Supreme Court and then on better and constitution. Yeah, that's a part. On council.
Onua 95.1 FM. 95.1 FM. Yeah,